Peace and blessings. 91.3 WVST. This is Soul Logistic Radio Show. I'm your host, Doug Evans, the unknown icon. Some people call me Hannibal Smith. Got the minister information, the straw that stirs the drink, the movie critic, VCU's hip hop professor, Fat Tommy. What's poppin', yo?
What's going on, Doug Evans? What's happening, universe?
Well, we know what happened. Here we go again. Female, 36 years old, shot down, killed by the police. A popo shot her in the face after he told her he was going to shoot her in the face.
Murdered her is what he did.
Right? Did you see it?
I absolutely did. I didn't want to look at it because I said I wasn't going to look at any more tragedies because I'm desensitizing myself to all of that. But I wanted to look at that because I got so many calls about it, and I knew we were going to probably discuss it. So I went and watched it so I could give my take on it.
And what was your take? Oh, you want to see a reenactment? Like, it's not, it's a reenactment. You ought to check this out. There's a young lady did a reenactment of the situation. Check this out. Check it out.
Okay, let's go.
Hot? Where are you going? Away from your hot steaming water. Away from hot steaming water? Yeah. Oh, we're doing the name of Jesus. We're doing the name. Not sure how. Okay, I'm sorry.
We're going to start here at the stove as she picks up the pot of water. One of the first things to talk about is that the deputies instructed Miss Massey to go to the kitchen and take care of her pot of water. She politely did so and set it on the center of the sink. While there, she leans over and turns on the faucet. At the same time, she observes one of the deputies moving away from her, and asks why he's moving away. He laughs and says he's moving away from the steaming water. She too banters back and says, Gracie overreacts and asks what she said, but before she could even finish repeating herself, he started to pull his weapon. Listen carefully to the sound, and you can hear him start to draw his weapon 2 times for no reason. Miss Massey is in shock and throws her hands up. As soon as she goes down to the floor, she sees these 2 men coming towards her with weapons. Knowing she's done absolutely nothing wrong, her fear for her life makes her act out to defend herself. I do a lot of true crime.
Ain't that something?
Okay, so
Crazy.
Here's the things that I took out of this. And I'm going to go straight to the spiritual. First of all, before she let the police, when they came up, she started praying and said, please don't hurt me. Okay? And when they first came to the door and they said, why would we hurt you? We're here to help you. So to me, color me completely dumb, but I think from a spiritual being that her third eye, her pineal gland was all the way open and she already knew it was demons in her midst. That's number 1. Number 2, after they searched the yard and said nobody was there and said, do you need anything else? She said no. It's over. Nope, I don't need anything else. Thank you, officer. They should have left. Here's what happened. The guy with the body cam went to check the car. So we don't know what the other officer, because he didn't have his body cam on. The murderer.
Right.
The murderer is rolling around with no body cam on. So we don't even know what he said to trick himself into that house. But now he gets in the house. The lady is clearly mentally unstable. It does not take a genius to know this. Just based on the way she answered the questions, she's unstable. But then she kept saying, I'm looking for my papers. And my wife kept saying, what paper? I said, I bet you that's the paper that explains her condition. She's trying to give them, because mental patients have these things that they give you to say here. So, I'm schizophrenic, I'm nervous, socially anxiety, a piece of paper explaining her condition. He told her, don't worry about that. Let me get your ID. He didn't need her ID. You in her house. Okay? You had no right to be in her house. You should have never came into her house. And then you asking her for an ID when she called the police. All you had to say was, we didn't see nobody. See you later. So you get in the house. Then you tell me to go turn the water off. Hold it.
Now, hold on. That's a point that I seen was a problem. I don't understand why you said as a police officer. I know they said hindsight is 2020, but I would say, ma'am, do you mind if my officer go and turn the eye off the stove right there? There's a pot of water on it. Do you mind if he go and just turn that off?
Doug, if I'm in your house talking to you and you sitting down looking for something, and I look over and see that your pot is boiling and the water's about to boil over, cause us some danger, I can go turn it. I'm gonna turn this off for you. I don't even ask. I'm gonna turn this off for you, and I walk over there and turn it off. You told her to go turn it off. Once you told her to turn it off, I remember one time, um, the police pulled me over, and my ID was in the glove compartment, and the cop had his gun out, and he said, "Get your ID." I said, "It's in the glove compartment." He said, "You can get it." I said, "I ain't getting it." He said, "Get your ID." I said, "I'm not getting my ID until you holster your weapon. I'm not getting my ID." I said, "You put your gun down, put your gun back in the holster and step back. I'll get my driver's license." He put his gun down. I said, "Go back to the car. Step back. I'm not reaching." I said, "I'm not moving from this position." When he stepped back to the car, I got my driver's license and held it out the window like that so that he could see it, because I'm telling you, and people say I'm
Right.
overly paranoid, but something inside of me said, "Don't do that. He ain't the one." Like, because police say go ahead and get it all the time and reach for it, and I do. But on this day, I told that dude I wasn't, and he was insisting that I do it. And I'm saying, "But you still got a gun on me, dude. I'm not." He
Right.
said, "That's for
Right.
my safety." Nah, I'm not go. I'm not moving while you have a gun on me. I'm not doing that. I'm not reaching for nothing. I'm sitting just like I'm sitting right now. I'm looking at you. My hands is on the steering wheel, and I'm not taking them off. If you about to shoot me, you about to shoot me with my hands on the steering wheel. So I would have. She didn't understand. But what she should have said was, "That water gonna be all right." But then when she went over there again, she noticed who they was, because he was backing away and was in the other room, the other cop. So he didn't feel threatened at all.
Right. He
Then
looking
dude,
around for whatever
yes,
drugs or whatever somebody had up under clothes or whatever.
you clearly know ain't nobody there, and you clearly know this woman got a problem. And then she drops the pot and goes down in the fetal position,
Right. Right.
hands up.
You
Now
told
you,
her, I'll shoot you in the effing face. You said that.
yes.
Yeah.
And then she dropped the pot and said, "Okay." She had enough time to have a conversation. "Okay, officer, I'm
Mm.
sorry." And went to the ground. The water's up on the counter. So now why are you shooting her? Why are you shooting someone who is on the ground with their hands up far away from the water? That's my third thing. My fourth thing is, she was 20 feet from them. 10, we'll call it 10 feet. If you threw the water at them, it was going to cool in the air, so cool that by the time it hits you, it won't going to hurt. It certainly won't going to require you to go to the hospital. At the very least, you was going to have to put some of that sunburn lotion on your face, but it wasn't going to score you. I mean, you all the way across the room. It's boiling water that just started boiling. So it's really just above bath water. When you throw it in the air, it spreads. And I would dare to say that you could go 10 feet from me and throw some water that just started
Well,
boiling.
we don't know how long it's been on the stove. It could be really hot, you know.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, go out there and throw the water. It separates the molecules, separate in the air. And at that distance, it's not like you're going to soak them with the water. Like, we're talking about a pot of water, Doug. We're not talking about a barrel of water. We're talking about a pot of water being thrown. It's not like it's grease. It's a difference between
Yeah.
hot grease and hot water. Okay? Grease stick on your skin, the
Yeah.
water, and he could have just left.
Yeah.
Doug, I'm out of here, man. You playing with that water? Handle your business. I'm 10 feet
Yeah.
from you. The door is closer. I could just
Right.
go on out
That's
the
it.
door. But here's what my people on the internet, the streets is talking now. So the
Uh-oh.
streets, the streets then said this is what the streets are out there saying. Two things that we know is suspicious. His fiance is her medical worker.
What?
That's what the streets is saying.
That
So
was
you
the
gotta go
streets are saying.
You got to go read the comments. The comments is saying that his fiance works in where she gets mental health treatment. He knew her. Number two, they said it was a 1096. I Googled it. 1096, mental patient. Just put it in your phone, ask what code 1096 for the police department is. It's mental patient. So he already knew she was a mental patient. He knew that anyway because his fiance worked with her. So now they saying that allegedly that she may have had an incident with his fiance. It's unclear. I can't confirm that, but what I am pretty confident in saying is that his fiance knew that lady. Now, some other comments were saying that they had an incident at work and she got yelling at the lady or whatever. I don't know that to be true, but what enough people in the comments said that his fiance worked at her mental health establishment. So he's dating a woman that knows her, so he already knew her.
Mm.
He already knew
So
her.
so let me put this out. In the conscious community, I see a lot of conscious brothers going at Vice President Kamala Harris, saying, she's not going to give the black folks anything. But Trump is saying that he is going to give the police immunity. So I'm thinking, as black people, I don't understand why we're not like going at Trump, like saying like we're just not going to vote for Trump. You know what I mean? But it seemed like the conscious community said we're not going to vote for Kamala Harris either. Well, what's your feelings on that? Because this police issue is a serious issue. I mean, that's like number one. Before we get reparation, we got to be able to drive home. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, they'll give us reparations and murder us.
Right.
They'll surely give me 20
Right.
million. Tommy, you know what? We're gonna give you 20 million. I'm gonna take the
Right.
20 million back out the driveway.
Right.
That
That's
ain't
what
gonna
I'm
do me no
saying.
good.
Right. That's what
Here,
I'm
here, here.
that's my point.
I consider myself part of the conscious community because I consider myself to be conscious, woke. I was never asleep, so I can't consider myself woke because you're talking about stuff that they consider unconscious. I grew up with
It's a
stuff
way
that
of
people
life.
are calling consciousness. Right, was how I was raised. These is just things you automatically did. But here's what I'm my take on it this time, and this is the first time I've taken a take on it like this. Usually, I'll vote for a Ross Perot. I'll write Doug Evans or my wife's name in there if I'm not messing with the candidate. Um, but in this instance, I think this election is too important because of Stephen Miller and Stephen Bannon and Project 2025. See, if you consider yourself part of the conscious community and you read Project 2025, then I don't care if Kamala Harris says tomorrow, oh, she said it yesterday, I'm not doing nothing for black people. We know Trump is not doing nothing for black people either. So
Right.
they even on that terms.
Okay,
Neither
right.
one of
So
them is doing
that's
stuff for
so
black
so
people.
that's 1-1 right there. Okay, go
Right.
ahead.
But now Trump is down with Steve Bannon and Steve Miller, who are going to do stuff that is anti-black community, i.e., uh,
Trump.
giving police immunity, which means, let me tell you what that means. That means every time we get pulled over, we get shot.
And
Brother,
every time we see a police, they're gonna have trauma, right?
I already have. You know what? The other day I left Hopewell. I was in Hopewell. The police was behind me, and so they ran up on me. And like she all the way on my bumper. So then there's a car beside me, and it's a car behind them. So I speed up and signal so I can get over for the cop. She pulls me over. Now I'm traumatized. I'm not even kidding. I'm going. I know she ain't just rush up on me, get me to pass these cars, and now pull me over. And so now they walk into the car, and I'm thinking all this stuff. What in the world's going on? And she merely says, "You don't have an inspection sticker." And I go, "Huh?" And then she points to the window. "You ain't got no stickers in you." I said, "Oh, this is literally how I didn't even know when she said it, I was so shook. I didn't even know what an inspection sticker was. I'm like, she's talking craziness. Then I looked and I said, "You're absolutely right. I bought this car in South Carolina. I need to get an inspection sticker." She said, "Well, I'm not going to I'm gonna give you a ticket, but it's not a ticket. Basically, you go get the car inspected and just drive by the office and show us the pink slip, and you don't have to come to court." But I was
She
traumatized just
sounds
based.
pretty. She sounds like one of the good ones, Fat Tommy.
No such thing. Um, I was traumatized because I was pulled over. So think about this: if police get immunity, they pull
Mm.
me over, and I go, "What sticker? What sticker? Boom, 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 boom. That sticker." I mean, already we get harassed. See, I stopped short of saying harassed because I ain't never really been harassed. Like I keep saying we get harassed, but I'm 58. I never been harassed by the police. I've never been harassed. I don't even think I've ever been. I've been what I would say wrongfully pulled over, but not really. Failure to signal. Really? You gonna pull me over because I didn't signal? Ain't no
Yeah,
cars
because
on
you
the
you
street.
you really didn't have an inspection sticker, so she was doing her job, right?
She was doing. That's what I said at the end. I said I was wrong. I didn't even realize it. And I said the craziness is I've been driving around for a year now. I got a ticket for no license plate, and he didn't tell me my inspection sticker. First, I didn't have no front license plate, and I was like, I bought off the car. They ain't put. I got out and looked like there ain't no license plate, and I looked around. I said there ain't even holes there, and he said the same thing. Go get the license plate and just come by and let us. But he didn't tell me I didn't get no inspection sticker. But the point of this is this: if we know the history of the police department, okay, let's go back to that. The history of the police department, there was no police department until they ended slavery. And then the police department, 90% of their job was to collect people to put them on the farm so that they could get cheap labor. So they was arresting people, making things. That's why being broke became a crime, because they would call it vagrants. So if you didn't have $5 in your pocket, even up into the 70s, you was considered a vagrant. So you always either had to have an ID, or if you outside with no money and no ID, you are technically a vagrant, and it's probably still on the books. You could probably get arrested today, because when I was a kid, they told me don't be outside with no money. Like that was a
Dang.
thing. Don't be outside with no money. Even like spitting on the sidewalk. When I was a kid in Connecticut, they would arrest you for spitting on the sidewalk. So I'm like, look, people don't even pay attention to that. But all of these things we were told. And so you didn't want to give the police no reason to mess with you. Like right now, I have a handicap sticker. I read the sticker. It said, do not drive vehicle with this in the window. And so I take it down. I'm like, yo, I see people riding around with their handicap sticker. That's against the law, because you're not supposed to hang nothing from your mirror while the car is
Mm.
moving. So I don't have no air fresheners, because back in the 80s, that's what they used to get us on.
Mm.
Those little Christmas tree air
Yeah, the little
fresheners
green joints.
will get you pulled over in Henrico every day. I threw all them things away. I didn't put them, because anything hanging from your rear view mirror is against the law. So I didn't hang beads, none of that. You'll never see nothing hanging from my car while I'm driving. If you see me pulled over dead on the side of the road with something up there, they put it up there after they shot me. I don't ride around with nothing like that.
So
So
so putting the ball on it, did you say who you gonna vote for? Who you voting for?
Oh,
Or
so the
you gonna
point is
wait?
this. No, I'm definitely gonna give my vote to the Democrats, even though it's a lot of their policies I don't agree with. That's what I'm saying. It's the first time that I'm voting against somebody. I generally vote for people and my issues. I vote the issues that best serve me. In this issue, it's a lot of things that I disagree with Vice President Harris about, but not to the point that I'm willing to sacrifice the future of our next generation, because that's really
Mm.
what's up at stake here. What's up at stake right now is our children and our children's children. That's really the issue, because what they're trying to do is set laws in place that's really, I know people gonna say I'm crazy, they setting laws in place that's gonna put us back in a position to be enslaved again. Like really. And I know they got saying it'll never happen. That's the same exact thing that the Jewish people said. First, Hitler killed all the drug addicts, right? Ain't nobody say nothing. They just drug addicts. Then he killed all the prostitutes. And the Jewish community was quiet when he killed all the drug addicts. They were quiet when he killed all the prostitutes. They were quiet. Then all of a sudden, he started killing the Jewish people. And now the whole world is mad. So now we as black people, here's what we're about to do. We're about to vote, because I hear some ignorant, conscious black people talking about all the good things that Trump has done. And I can name a few. Trump actually let black people out of prison that was wrongfully accused, or the ones that Biden locked up during mandatory minimums. He gave a lot of compassionate releases when Barack Obama said he was, but didn't. That's cool. I'm cool with that. But what I'm telling people is also, you about to vote in your oppressor, like in a big way, because if you read Project 2025, it's nothing good for us. If you just look at who Steve Bannon is, he is a redneck from Richmond. From Richmond. He from Richmond, the capital of the Confederacy.
Oh.
Don't y'all forget that. Stephen Miller. These is white boys that's really prejudiced. That's really about their business, and their business is anti-Negro. So when you put Trump in office, understand they're going to be pushing their agenda, which is anti-black. So you can't be conscious and tell me that you're about to vote for Trump. And you can't be conscious and tell me you're not going to vote for Kamala, because the part of the thing of being conscious is the uplifting of your people. So if I know for a fact that you're going to tear down my people, I can't let you in. So if that means voting with somebody that, because I can tell you issues that the Democratic Party have that I don't agree
But
with.
people saying Kamala Harris put a lot of black folks in jail.
Okay,
That's
she
the
was.
big thing.
Listen.
And she's not really black. That's
Okay,
what I hear a lot.
let me address both of those things. I agree. Camilla should not have went to Oakland to be a prosecutor. I don't think Fonnie Lewis should be in Atlanta prosecuting people. If I'm gonna be a prosecutor, I'm going to Idaho. I'm going to North Dakota. I'm going to South Dakota. I'm going to
West Virginia.
Wisconsin,
West
West
Virginia.
Virginia. Right. I'm going out there to some places where, because my job is to prosecute criminals.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would be in a city that's predominant like Petersburg. I'm not going to be prosecuted because Petersburg 80% black. So if I'm a prosecutor, when I'm doing a great job, which is what she apparently did, a great job, and in doing her great job, she locked up a lot of African Americans. But look, here's the thing, and I know y'all about to get on me for this one. So this is where my being 58, I see the world a little different. This is what my dad used to say, and I used to argue with him, but we ain't, Dad, we ain't. If they wasn't out there committing crimes, a wise man which told me the best way to stay out the fisherman's net
is to never get in the water.
Is to never get in the water. I keep my reasoning keeps being this. If the people come down my street tomorrow and drop off 50 kilos of cocaine in front of my house, and I bring them into my house and start distributing it, I broke the law. So when the police come in and I now have 50 kilos in the house, I just look, they set them out there. I brought them in and they charged me a kingpin jump. And I'm going, but and they saying, you possess cocaine, you're the only one in the house. And I'm going, but I just brought it in from outside, but you brought it into your property. Why?